Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Maiter. I'm from Group 8. Today I would like to give you our next presentation. In order to comprehend the topic, our Group 1 to research. In this presentation, I hope that we can roughly acquire about this topic, and the title for this research is The Pronunciation Errors of Vanglang University Students. Um, let's get started with my first part, that is introduction. In scientific research, introduction includes 5 different sections, which is the background of the study. The second one is the statement of the problems. The third one is the purpose of the study, and the final one is significance of the study. And now we are starting with the first first section, which is the background of the study. Oh yeah, in our daily life, language is a tool for communication, and all of us know that pronunciation also plays a key role in learning language. However, speaking English is not considered important by many people. They are making the assumption that and consider speaking and understanding to be normal. A large number of online students who study English have the same thoughts. According to Hakihi and Rahimi 2017, one of the most important problems of learning and teaching the English language is pronunciation. In Vanglang University, many students are almost learning English to do exercises in class or at English centers. In addition, they are afraid to practice speaking English with native speakers or foreign teachers. So you won't be surprised that even if you're the best in your English class, when you go abroad, native speakers will only understand about 50% of what you say. Uh, Based on uh, Ibrahimoglu 2020, there are 5 main barriers that teachers as well as learners have to face, and our research will make clear about 5 barriers. Based on this background, and I will show you the statement of the problem. Lang and Kang 2020 claimed that one of the most basic and common mistakes made by Vietnamese when speaking English is forgetting the final consonants. Phương and Phương 2019 showed that many learners have difficulty pronouncing English sounds, therefore they have difficulty in listening and speaking English. And the speaking skill of teachers in Vietnam also reduced the student ability. Hong 2006 state that the lack of quality of teaching speaking caused almost all graduated students to communicate in English hard. We move to the final section of the introduction part, which is purpose of the study. Although English is popular around the world and almost people could communicate in English, but I think they still make mistakes when pronouncing it. Vietnam. I think Vietnam is one of these countries with get problem when they speaking English. As a Vanglang student, we have been lots of them afraid of using English at school. Therefore, the purpose of the study is to solve errors that the Vanglang students easily get and support them to be more confident when they speak English. Okay, the last but not least, that is the significance of the study. This research is conducted with the aim to point out the set of frequent Vietnamese students' inaccurate pronunciations. The study investigates the common misconception issues about pronouncing. Thus, students can learn from that and correct their mistakes. Furthermore, the research paper shows several remedies for the issues, thus they are about to enhance English pronunciations as much as possible, pronunciation instruction in particular. Thank you for listening, and the next part will turn to the literature review. Thank you for listening my part.
Continue with the retro reviews. A thought has city 2005 mentions some quantities in corrections when pronunciations English consonants. The correct number were from question and answers tests to students to find equal to uh, compared to English pronunciations principle and to come up with solutions on how to fix them and research it to get our recommendations for English learner to improve their pronunciations. Savoy 2016 look at how adult Vietnamese English learner pronounce the consonants 1115 English language students in Vietnam were asked to give answers to our questionnaire about the reasons for their pronunciation problems. The study also discovered that a lack of exposure to and practice with English was one of the most common reasons for their problems. Yes, Pachina 20s and 20, 2020 uh, explores some of the typical challenges that Vietnamese people encounter when learning to pronounce English. The study found that Vietnamese students often encounter the following for pronunciation problems. First, there is the complexity of English words and sentences. Second, there are num- numerous dialectal variations and consonants placements. Vietnamese people also make blunder when using consonants. Thirdly, there is a wide range of uh, em- emphasis in the English language. Finally, Vietnamese learners also struggle with intonations. The first, the second, during 2021, investigate the difference between Vietnamese and English and has since discovered common mistakes when pronunciations Vietnamese people. Unity and 2000, 2009 is the hope that research can be helpful for Bangla students to realize the common error in the process of the improving and developing their speaking skills less from practice, emphasize rote learning and examination test memory rather than understand and use of the English language in real life situations. The, pur- the purpose of using is with the lineage select, accuse, organize, and interact with the knowledge, lay, and
Hi, my name is Bhumindri, and I will continue the presentation to talk about research methodology. First of all is the research context. Um, about the context, English has four important skills, and speaking is one of those four. And Vang Lang University student, they study a lot of English, speaking specifically, a lot at school as well as at English centers, but the result is they are still afraid of speaking. By knowing this perception of them, we went on and have this research. The research design, we went on both way, quantitative and qualitative approach. So on the quantitative, we send questions in a questionnaires for the student, and on the qualitative, the student will answer a short interview in person or via internet with webcam, so we can see their face while they're talking. Next up is the instrument. The instrument is we will ask 6 to 7 questions on the issue, which are the student English pronunciation errors, on what to have a better understanding on their perception on the situation. Next up is the procedure of data collection. First of all, we went with a questionnaire based on Google form. On the questionnaire, we interviewed more than 200 students and got the result. We also went with the interview. The interview progress will take about 3 to 4 minutes each session, and we interviewed about 10 students to clearly understand what their perception is. And the last thing is data analysis. After we have interviewed the students, we record them while interviewing. After that, we divide the problems into separate groups so that we can have a clear understanding on what are we doing. After that, we analyze the information that was given by the questionnaire and the interviews, and finally, we convert them into charts. So, Muntu will continue to talk about the charts in the results.
Hello everyone, my name is Tu and I will continue our group presentation. I will talk about the research. We start with the question 1. What is the perception of Valence University students about the problems in English pronunciation? Firstly, our group want to know that how many percent that they confident about their pronunciation. As you can see, just nearly 19% student vote for 25% confident. And yes, around 45% seem to be the most voted student vote for 50% confident. And it's just is 33% students are voted for 75% confident in pronunciation.
And how about 100% confident? Yeah, it just took 5% student are voted. Now we move to what the problems that they have to get they are facing. We can know intonations problem get the most voted. It is 41.9%. And the next word stress is the second. It's just 31%. And ending sound is 14%. And vowels took 9.1%. And the consonants get 4.5%. Now, so what is the most difficult to improve these problems? Most of them choose teacher mispronouncing is the most problem that they hard to solve. Maybe because they think the first knowledge about English that they get from teachers. So when that teacher teach wrong or teach mispronounce, they can get this mistake always in their life. So teacher missing pronounce is seem to be very hard to solve. And the next is speaking habits. It just took 20.8%, and the last is English. Yes, it seemed to be very popular problem, popular mistake if for Vietnamese. It just took 8.3%. Okay, we will start with the question 2. How can Valencia University students fix that state problems? As we can see, there are some methods that they use to practice pronunciation. The most voted is watch movie and listen to music. Yes, of course, it seems to be very popular practice. And the next is learn in API took more than 50%. And the next is have a conversation with foreigner. It's nearly 40%. And we can see that to me, have a conversation with foreigner is seem to be the most practice that I can improve my English. Yes, and the next is listening to radio. Yeah, I think this practice are always mentioned by the older who are fluently in speaking English, and just more than 10 students think that they have others practice to pronounce their speaking English. And of course, we want to know that how long do they use these methods. So as we can see, over 1 year is the longest time that they use these methods. It is 43.9%, and the next is over 1 month is it just took 32.1%, and the next is less than 1 month, it get 14.3%, and the last one is 10.7%. And we think that as we can see, over 1 month or over 1 year it get the most voted, and over 6 months it took the least voted. So we think that if they use these methods over maybe over 6 months, it means they will continue use the method. more than more than 1 year. But if they use this method just more than 1 month or 2 months, and they think that it's not more useful, it's not more efficient, so that's why they stop. And that's the reason why in our research that just over 6 months it seems to be the least verdict. And we want to know that we also know that do they use any application to support their pronunciation, because nowadays internet seems to be useful and convenient to have them in speaking English. And of course, nearly 100% students vote for yes questions, for yes answer. And so 85% of them say that it effectively when they use these applications.
My name is Diễm Trinh, and I will continue going to talk about the conclusion. So this study was initiated to find out common pronunciation errors that online students have difficulty pronouncing English. Pronunciation is extremely crucial in learning English. Not only are the one students struggling, but also the majority of Vietnamese people learning English. And to answer the research question, according to a poll in survey with over 200 frontline students, most of them have pronunciation errors such as intonation and word stress. Therefore, I'm when a student overcome it by talking to a trainer, watching movie, and listening to any music on daily, or having watched pronunciation channel on YouTube, or listening to any podcast, and also practicing from API pronunciation. And speak on the conclusion, Văn Lang University students should consider improve their pronunciation in many ways, such as socializing with a trainer or combining study with entertainment, using technique and application that help them with their problem. To sum up, English is a bit different from Vietnamese, so Văn Lang students should pay more attention to pronunciation practice while learning English. Thank you, and this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.